Emma Holmes. I graduated from NCSSM, class of 2019. I'm currently on the Kennedy Luger Youth Exchange and Study Abroad program, or YES Abroad program, in Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina for the 2019-2020 school year. The Kennedy Luger Youth Exchange and Study Abroad program, otherwise known as YES Abroad, is similar to the National Security Language Initiative for Youth, or Nestle-Y, in that it is fully government funded and there's an application including essays and an interview. YES Abroad is smaller than Nestle-Y though, as about 65 students from all across America are chosen to go to one of 14 countries, so that those countries are Bosnia and Herzegovina, North Macedonia, Bulgaria, Turkey, Malaysia, Morocco, Jordan, Senegal, Ghana, India, Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand, and it was recently added that people would be going to Egypt for the 2020-2021 school year. So it used to be that these countries were Muslim majority, which is still true for the majority of the countries, but that was recently changed in YES Abroad's statement of purpose, so that way more countries could be added. So now it's countries of select strategic importance to the United States. I decided to choose the YES Abroad program because I wanted to learn about a country whose culture was not widely recognized in America. So unlike Nestle-Y, YES Abroad is not a language program, but because so many people in Bosnia, especially the older generations, they don't speak English, so I've had to learn Bosnian, or Bosnian Croatian Serbian, or BCS. And Bosnian Croatian Serbian is basically one language, but with 3 different dialects, sort of like an English with British, Australian, and American English. I found it really interesting to learn how a language can reflect upon a culture the population here in Bosnia. So the population is divided into 3 main ethnicities, and of course there's minorities, but they're often looked past and not really represented well in the government and throughout society. The main 3 ethnicities are Bosniaks, Bosnian Serbs, and Bosnian Croats. And I've really enjoyed learning about how these ethnicities have interacted with each other in the past, but it's also really saddening because there was recently a war in the 90s between these 3 ethnicities, and the effects of this war are still seen throughout the population, throughout the country, and throughout the government. And it really makes you think a lot, because in America we haven't had a war on our land in so long. So because YES Abroad's focus isn't on the language and it's more on the culture, I am currently attending Četvrta Gimnazija, which is a local high school here in Bosnia. And so gap year students will be attending a local high school that's taught in that language most often, while as students who are still in high school will be attending more of an international school. So we have gap year and non-gap year students here in Bosnia. And the people who are non-gap year students, they are currently attending Druga Gimnazija, and they're taking classes in English, and it's through the IB program, and that's how I believe it often is if you're still in high school and on the YES Abroad. So outside of school, I have language classes about 3 times a week, and occasionally we'll take an excursion and go somewhere else for a language class. That could be a museum, or recently we went and watched Beauty and the Beast, or Leopotica i Zvijer. It was a play, and it was for children, so that way it was simple enough we could understand. But it was really cool. And we've also been to a couple other towns outside of Sarajevo. So extracurriculars are a great way to connect with the culture more. And I recently joined Hor, or choir, and I had a friend and she invited me, and I was like, I can't sing, but might as well, you never know what can happen. and it's been a lot of fun. So Bosnia has a traditional song called the Sevdalinka, and they're so pretty. They're kind of like love ballads. I definitely recommend looking it up. Volunteering is also another amazing way to help connect with people in the culture. So far, I've done a couple small things, such as a river cleanup, which was really fun, and I made some great friends. And then I've also done English Club. I've helped volunteer at English Club, helping teach younger students English. And it's really awesome. The students, they're always so cute. I'm not really a kid person, but they're adorable. And I really enjoy working with each of the teachers I work with. Also, extracurriculars, I'm a part of an English book club, and while the books are in English, I'm still able to connect with people and also help them with their English talking, and it's really awesome. And also, I get to read, and I love reading, so it's great. I gotta say, I absolutely love the public transportation system here. It is so nice, especially because I can go and hang out with friends whenever I want without having to rely on a car or someone to drive me or having a license. And Sarajevo has a bus system, a tram, and a trolley. I haven't been on the trolley yet, but the tram is super helpful because it runs from one side of the city to the other, so it's really easy to explore the city. So cafe culture is a huge thing here. I probably go to a cafe like once, twice, maybe 3 times a week. Spend way too much money there. But it is such a great way to practice your language skills while you're also building relationships with the people around you. Why did I choose to take a gap year? I was originally accepted into Yes Abroad as an alternate, so I had actually paid a security deposit for a room. I had a roommate. I was basically going to go to this college, but I didn't really want to. And yes, getting into Yes Abroad was kind of a dream come true for me. So it wasn't much of a struggle making the decision because it's what I knew I wanted to do that. And even before I had been accepted as an alternate, when it was still up in the air if I would even be accepted into college, um, I knew that if I was accepted into DS Abroad, I would go because it would be a different experience for me and it's something I haven't done before. I know other people had different reasons for taking a gap year. I think almost all of us really wanted to learn about a new culture and a new way of living. And so I don't think that's really different. But I know some people are taking that extra year to look for more scholarships. Some people, like me, are reapplying to colleges. Um, yeah, I think it just really depends on what you want to do with life. But I definitely recommend kind of taking a break from school and just focusing on yourself and what you like to do. So for me, I like to get to know people, get to know about a new culture, a new language. And so this program was really great for that. But I know NCSSM is really stressful, and I think it's really important to not get burnt out so early in life. Um, I wish you guys all the luck. Good luck with colleges and everything else. So the deadline for Yes Abroad's application for 2020-2021 school year is quickly approaching. It's on December 3rd, and I definitely recommend applying. Um, Juniors, I don't know if you'd be able to this year because of NCSSM's own guidelines, but I would definitely recommend doing it next year and trying if you are interested in it. Seniors, it was one of the best experiences I've chosen to come on. Like, I'm definitely feeling a lot more prepared for college, a lot more mature, a lot more able to take care of myself and to be an adult. Um, and yeah, I definitely recommend it. For those of you who are going to apply, here's a couple just simple tips. Don't write your essays last minute. Please get on it as soon as possible if you haven't already. Make sure to read them over once or twice, couple times. Maybe have a friend look over them. I know when I applied, I had a friend look at them, and there was one essay, she turned to me and she was like, "This isn't you. You can do this better." And I rewrote it, and well, that turned out good. That turned out well. Um, and so it definitely helps to have a second eye. I know it helps to read your essays out loud to make sure they make sense, because sometimes when you're writing them, you're just reading them over and over, and in your head you might like correct some things that might not actually be correct. So when you're reading out loud, you can listen to it. And then when you get to the interview point, because the application, there's no semi-finalist stage like in Nestle Y, you automatically have an interview. I definitely recommend reading over your essays before you go into the interview, because it has been a little while since you've written those essays, and it really helps to remind yourself why you're applying, why you want to do this. And then also for the interview, kind of like think about who you are. I know that's really broad, but I mean, I don't know if you can look up like basic interview questions, or if you've taken Marketing U. I know that helped me a lot. They actually, not going to have any spoilers, but there were some questions that I had to answer in Marketing U in the class that I was asked in the interview. And so it really helps to kind of think of these questions, think of questions you might be asked, think of answers, think of who you are, and just be yourself. Don't be someone you're not, because that can make it just even worse. Like that can ruin your chances of getting in. So I definitely am wishing you all the luck. You guys got this. All right, bye.